The Birds, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, was initially screened at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City in 1963. At the time, Hitchcock had decided to market it as an art film, but when the film was in its early stages, the writer, Evan Hunter, wanted it to be a screwball comedy. Over the iterations of the script, Hitchcock and Hunter evolved the idea into a thriller that has since been named the 7th greatest thriller of all time by AFI. In 1968, NBC aired The Birds, and it soon became the most watched film on television. Its popular acclaim is evident, and it's become a staple of cinephile discussion. But what makes The Birds such a great movie? To some, it offers a deep analysis of the human condition of selfishness, while to others it only lends itself to entertainment and thrill. Since its first screening at the MoMA, it has been considered an art film, so it wouldn't be crazy to analyze the deeper meaning that Hitchcock infused into his work. But Hitchcock did not infuse deeper meaning into his work, at least not intentionally. In an interview, Hunter denied that The Birds had any significance beyond an intention to terrorize the audience with technical brilliance, and maintained that his screenplay was originally intended simply to facilitate that goal. This connects to the idea of pure cinema, a concept that Hitchcock subscribed to. Pure cinema refers to the use of visuals solely to tell a story or incite an emotion, rather than through the use of dialogue. As Hitchcock put it, when we tell a story in cinema, we should resort to dialogue only when it's impossible to do otherwise. And this shows in The Birds, which has little to no expository dialogue. This allowed Hitchcock to explore new technology for his film. Quite often, matte overlays were used to make it seem like there were more birds. They did this by using a yellow screen or sodium vapor process, which was first created for Mary Poppins.
The sodium process was a method of combining foregrounds and backgrounds that were photographed at different times in an optical printer in post-production. At some point, you have to create a matte or a silhouette that enables you to distinguish photographically between the foreground, which is usually an actor against a screen, and the background. In the sodium process, the background was illuminated by yellow sodium light. Of course, the actors in the foreground were illuminated by white light. There were two films in a special camera, an old Technicolor camera. One film was sensitive only to the sodium light on the backing. The second film in the camera was sensitive only to the white light falling on the actors. So as a result, there was absolutely no contamination of the foreground actors by the lighting from the background. Typical of blue screen shots of the period was a sort of blue fire in hair and on the edges of objects. And the sodium light, because there was no light from the backing on the actors at any time, the sodium system could produce a higher quality composite that didn't exhibit the sort of blue flare and blue halos that were sometimes seen on blue screen composites of the day.
Hitchcock decided not to use a conventional score and instead created synthesized bird sounds for suspenseful effect.
No. No.
What stands out, however, are the shots. Take, for example, the playground sequence. After finding that the birds are killing people, she goes to warn Annie. As she waits outside, more and more crows flock on the play structure. She's already nervous about the situation, but when she turns, she realizes the danger that she is in. The shots tell a story without any words, a skill that Hitchcock was a master of. That is pure cinema.